Hand clap to the massive brothers and sisters. That was a pretty powerful one. Hopefully I don't frighten none of you guys. But welcome to this here BrBpTV reaction vibrations, brothers and sisters. Be real, be positive. Welcome to every single one of you guys. Hand clap to every single one of you guys that definitely tune into these vibrations. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. And of course I'll be dropping 2 reactions on this YouTube platform. Yesterday I was like, the other one is pretty long, brothers and sisters, so I decided, you know what, let me not bombard you guys with another one. Would you guys mind, especially if I do a long reaction and then I do another reaction? Would you guys mind me doing that, dropping both of them? I just figured, hey, this one was like 40 something minutes. I was like, I didn't know it was that long. But brothers and sisters, when you know it coming out from you, you have to let it loose, man. You have to let the wisdom flow. Like the rivers of Babylon. I don't know if that's a good thing, the rivers of Babylon. Anyways, the rivers of anyways, brothers and sisters, welcome to this here BrBpTV. Don't forget to click the like button, brothers and sisters. I would appreciate that right there. And of course, subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they tend to come through. Of course, like indicated before, I'll be doing 2 reactions. The other one will be Mr. Lick's reaction. And guys, I'll leave the first comment in the comment box below, guys. And without a further ado, brothers and sisters, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to definitely get this algorithms pumping, especially when it comes down to you being notified. You will definitely get notified in that regard, and of course help the channel to grow further and further in that regard, brothers and sisters. Well, anyways, brothers and sisters, let us get into the vibrations for today right there. I bring you sad news, brothers and sisters, for which we have none other than this individual that you've seen right there. In case you haven't noticed who exactly this individual is, he is known as Frankie Bellot. Frankie, aka Crazy T. I don't know why they call him Crazy T. If you guys know, why did they call him Crazy T? Was he a crazy guy, or was he calling, or you know, sometimes when he's saying certain things, but that crazy, yeah, that crazy, were you crazy? Maybe because he liked saying crazy, I don't know. That's why they call him that. But brothers and sisters, if you know why exactly he was called crazy, let me know that in the comment box below, guys. But unfortunately, he is an individual who ended up passing away, I was told today or yesterday, one of the days, brothers and sisters. And of course, he actually defied the odds, I would have to say, in terms of beating cancer once. But apparently it seems like the cancer spread. I didn't just hear, but I also met him a few times. And of course, he lost his voice as a result of cancer. And I was told, can't really verify this. Well, I can verify this, but as of now, I was told that the cancer spread through the lungs as well, and of course ended up in his demise right there. So sympathies goes out to the friends and family of Crazy T. He was a radio personality and of course an individual who liked to speak a lot. That's definitely one of the things that we know Crazy for. He liked to talk. He talked so much that he ended up losing his voice. That is something else right there. But of course, he was an individual of society, and of course, recognizing him for his contributions in said society with, I think, Scary FM, and a number of, well, I think it's Scary FM. That was definitely one of his radio stations. I could be wrong, but he owned one of the radio stations right there, brothers and sisters, and of course, played a vital role when it comes down to carrying news and information over the airways right there. So sympathies goes out to the friends and family of Crazy T. I remember him when we were in the bike show, and he had his bike. I should have put this video inside there. He had his bike, big bike, quad bike, and he was trying to do his stunts like everybody. It was a bike show in the Goodwill area, and he was trying to do his stunts and what have you. He couldn't do stunts, you know, but he riding his bike, his quad, and he going up and down, driving fast, and then he ended up making a turn, I guess, probably to try to go on 2-wheel, and he ended up toppling over. I actually have that on film on the Mr. Lick's vlogs somewhere, bike show in Dominica somewhere, brothers and sisters. But of course, that was one of the funny moments I remember of him right there. I also remember him on the radio speaking great things, you know, and being sad about what was taking place in Dominica. And then unfortunately, I guess he had a change of heart, so to speak, and started speaking of for the things that was actually happening in Dominica. And then it seems like latter years he switched back to say, hey, you know, things are really going terribly wrong in Dominica. And I think we are here today to see that it has gone terribly wrong in Dominica. But of course, Carrie FM made an announcement on that regard. Life transition announcement. It's no longer passing, but life transition announcement. And really and truly, it is a life transitioning process right there, brothers and sisters, because we are moving from one to the next. We live this life, brothers and sisters, if you understand the spiritual component of man, which is 99% the energy aspect of reality that you cannot see, brothers and sisters, and the 0.001% that you can actually see, the physical component. Life transitioning definitely takes place right there. I've heard the phrase that we are immortal beings, not in the physical sense, but in the spiritual sense. We are definitely immortal beings, brothers and sisters. Of course, life transition announcement for Frankie Crazy Symes Bellot. I didn't even know that was, he had the Symes name. I guess that's his middle name right there. Our family is saddened. The Carrie FM family is saddened to announce the passing of our beloved Frankie Crazy Symes Bellot on Tuesday, April. That's actually today, 2024. So it was today that he passed. He was known to many of us as Crazy. Frankie was a cherished member of our community, contributing significantly to various fields such as business, politics, and community organizing. Didn't he own a radio station? Was it a radio station he owned, or he? Anyways, he did contribute vastly to the radio airways. I know I remember also he had the what do you call it? Crazy Coconuts. Man, Crazy Coconuts was a vibe. Oh my God, Crazy Coconuts was a vibe, and you had people. You know, people, it had a little, well, when I went there, it was pretty much classy people that were going there, you know, people well dressed and stuff. And we went there for some birthday vibes with one of my friends that went overseas. And that was back in the day, man. And we were having a good time, man. Oh my God. Yes, man, brothers and sisters. He was the one in charge of that. But apparently, Crazy Coconuts did not survive the economy of Dominica. Anyways, Frankie was a cherished member of our community, contributing significantly to various fields such as business, politics, especially politics for sure, and community organizing. He had a deep passion for fostering unity in diverse communities, facilitating meaningful dialogues, and supporting community growth. Frankie's love for travel allowed him to explore numerous countries. I also heard that he survived the plane crash, brothers and sisters, and as a result got compensated for that. Isn't that crazy, bro? I was told he survived the plane crash. I think he was probably the only survivor, or one of the survivors of that plane crash, if I'm not mistaken, and he survived it. And I think there was, you know, some sort of compensation for him, which he ended up using and elevating. But that's what I heard. I don't know if that is the truth, brothers and sisters. If that is the case, you know, that guy is a fighter. If he survived the plane crash, he survived cancer for the first time, and now, you know, it took him, from my understanding, right there. Of course, where he marveled at the beauty of God's grace and love for all, we express our gratitude to each community that embarked or embraced and guided him. As we commemorate his life, may he continue his journey in peace. Hopefully, brothers and sisters, and I must make that statement. Hopefully, it is in peace. Sometimes we believe just because people pass on this life, that somehow they're ending up in peace, brothers and sisters. Hopefully, it is in peace that he's traveling. Keep in mind, brothers and sisters, that life after death is judgment. This is why you have to prepare. We are on this world to prepare to meet the Creator. And if you are not prepared to meet the Creator, I don't know what kind of peace you have, but it will not be peace of your soul. Okay, brothers and sisters, keep that in mind. Make sure you're prepared to meet the Creator in this regard right there. You never know when you're going to go. I'm sure that he probably knew that his time was coming to an end as a result of the illness that he was suffering from. But it is always good to prepare to meet the Creator, brothers and sisters. And I think that is vital right there. Sometimes you go through this life and we don't really care. We don't really care much what is happening. It does, go with the flow, brothers and sisters, and then just pass away. And you think that's it. This is why we need to make meaningful impact in this world. And talking about meaningful impact in this world, brothers and sisters, I've seen this. And Dominica decriminalizes same, relations, brothers and sisters. And of course, BBC News has picked it up. And I don't think that is a good thing at all, brothers and sisters. It seems like Dominica has always been on the map for some strange stuff. some strange stuff, man. That is how it is. But it's interesting that they're talking about decriminalization. I don't think it's decriminalization, brothers and sisters. They still need to go to parliament to pass certain acts, to whether it's for it, or maybe they're thinking maybe the rules on it, on the anti-man vibes, was too strict, and maybe they will lessen it to a point. It is not about decriminalizing. Keep in mind, brothers and sisters, the indication there from the article from the court indicated to us that it was what? I will get to that. Dominica, breaking news. Dominica High Court rules punishment of anti-man business as unconstitutional. So whatever the rule is on the anti-man vibes, maybe it's too harsh. Maybe they will lessen it to that point, lessen it and say, okay, you know, pay a fine, you know, these kind of things. They also, from my understanding, from listening to a number of articles when it comes on to the situation, well, mainly the international ones, it seems like they're basing this stuff on the Privacy Act, on what happens in privacy. But keep in mind, brothers and sisters, this is just a small part of it. They're talking about privacy. That's privacy in the business, brothers and sisters. If you look at the countries that have allowed this to happen, it's no longer private. They're trying to force your little ones to accept this sickness, brothers and sisters. It is a sickness right there. And not just accepting the sickness, they're also trying to make your little ones believe, if it's a little girl, hey, you can be a little boy, and put in all these weird ideologies in the little ones' minds, brothers and sisters. And of course, if you know how society works, you target the little ones, you indoctrinate them, you brainwash them. So when they grow up, brothers and sisters, they'll continue this indoctrination and falsehood and brainwashing and make it far worse for the next generation, brothers and sisters. This is why it's always good to have a moral compass when it comes onto this situation. Some people believe, oh, they're just doing their thing. No, brothers and sisters. It's one thing if they were doing their thing and we had no clue about this. First of all, they should not even be in the public. Whatever happened in your privacy, you want to be nasty, that's your business. But when you see it starts coming out and we see the effects of what has happened with countries that have already accepted these things, they are pushing the envelope. It seems like human beings are never satisfied or never truly satisfied in their quest for them to just be nasty. That is really something else. But of course, based on what is stated right there, Dominica High Court rule punishment for anti-man acts is unconstitutional. So maybe it's too strong. Maybe they're gonna lessen the punishment for it, or on the basis of it being private, and maybe doing maybe some punishment if it's in public. So there's always a ways and means that you can look at this thing right there. But it's weird and strange that when it comes on to strange stuff that is happening in Dominica, the international community always picks up this thing right there. Take a listen.
Dominica has overturned its ban on consensual same-sex relations. The case was brought to the High Court by an anonymous gay man living in the Caribbean country.
Now, I just listened to that right there, brothers and sisters, and I'm hearing it was brought to the court by a man. So if the man want to be nasty and feel like, okay, all you want to oppress me and all these kind of things there, he decides to take it to court to bring and foster change on the majority of people who do not see this as something moral or fit for society. One man brought this to court based off what they're saying right there. It's not my words, you know, guys.
Same-sex relations. The case was brought to the High Court by an anonymous gay man.
The anonymous man. Anonymous anti-man, right?
Living in the Caribbean country. He said...
Living, I guess, in Dominica. Because why else would you live somewhere else and it's coming to Dominica? So most likely he was in Dominica he was living.
Said the laws had condemned him to live in constant fear of criminal sanction and...
To live in... What is that? To live in constant fear of criminal sanction for engaging in consensual nasty activities.
And incited hateful and violent conduct...
Hateful and violent conduct towards him and other
LGBT persons, which he said prevented him from living and expressing himself freely and in dignity.
Really? Really? Boy, I tell you, boy. I tell you. Hey! Maybe I should just get the audio, my goodness.
And the court agreed, saying parts of the law that criminalised same-sex activity went against the country's constitution.
No, they're saying it went against the country's constitution. The country's constitution is for what?
Breaching the right to liberty, freedom of expression and protection of personal privacy.
I understand on the basis of personal privacy. Hey, you want to do your sickness in privacy, that's fine. Brothers and sisters, like I indicated before, my take on this is, if individuals want to do what they want to do privately and it's against themselves, don't do it. But you have the right. I would not tell you go and do it, but you have the right to do it. Seek help. Seek help, brothers and sisters. That's my thoughts on this. But if people want to do their thing in privacy, don't do it. I would still say don't do it. You will never hear me say go and do it, brothers and sisters. You have the right to do it. Don't do it. That's what I would say right there in that regard. But that is on the basis of privacy. We don't need to know these things. The problem here, especially when what has happened in the United States and these kind of things there, when they give a little inch, they want to take 10,000 miles, brothers and sisters. As clear as what has to be in the United States, to the point where they're trying to indoctrinate your little ones to accept things that they should not be accepting. It's not their own. It's not that. Tell them, go and make their children. Sometimes these people are teaching them nasty thing there. They don't even have children of their own, but they want to indoctrinate yours. And that is where I have a huge problem, brothers and sisters. That is why I have a huge problem in that regard right there. It starts with a little thing. It's so innocent. Oh, they just do that thing in private, brothers and sisters. Look at the utter chaos that has happened in the United States when it comes on to that situation right there. So it's not just, they're doing things privately, brothers and sisters. They'll put things on your little one. So hopefully, when it comes down to this kind of sentiment right there, hopefully the courts, the parliament, whatever, they're going to enact laws and these kind of things there, would keep this into consideration. Yes, you want to do your thing privately, you will get punished if you do it publicly. I think that is where the fine line should be, adjusted. Things that is against nature and God. If you consider yourself to be a godly country, you should not be doing things against God. But of course, not everybody trusts in God, and everybody, just some people might just want to go to Hades because they think it's a nice place with swings and candy. But, I understand the privacy vibes, right? I understand the privacy stuff. However, I think it's, vital that they set up acts to protect the public from this disgrace right there. Like I indicated before, it seems like they are mentioning that it is, the punishment might be a little harsh or whatever. So maybe when they come to parliament, they will be able to resolve this situation. Burglary ban ends. I don't think it ends. They still have to do, legislation and this kind of things there for that. And I think it's on the basis of privacy. That's one of the things that we were focusing on. Okay? So privacy is privacy, brothers and sisters. What's done in privacy should always remain private. Especially the act of, sex. I think that is an act that should be done privately. But society has become a kind of interesting place right now where, your little children are just walking and they see all sorts of things on the televisions and on the postcards and the billboards and all sorts of strange things. I think there needs to be some sort of correction to these brothers and sisters, not just for the ANTIMAN them, but protect the little ones now. Protect the little ones, and we wonder why the little ones are so highly charged, so to speak. I think it's vital in that regard right there. Of course, there was the sentiment of this. What was the major sin in Sodom and Gomorrah? The people of Sodom and Gomorrah were the first on earth to commit a certain indecency. And of course, based on the Quran states that they lusted after men instead of women. Same thing as the Bible. It seems like this person was referencing the Quran. But also the same thing indicated in the biblical references right there. This novel incidency merited their destruction, though it is followed with the mention of highway robbery and ambiguous evil deeds, brothers and sisters. It is indicated in the great book that the stench of the antimanness of Sodom, brothers and sisters, reached God's heaven. Can you imagine? What kind of foul scent that have to reach heaven, brothers and sisters, from earth? For God to say, what? Not today. And decide to send balls of fire from heaven. Gasa. Balls of fire, boy, to burn down Sodom and Gomorrah right there. Brothers and sisters, be mindful of that now, please. Be mindful of that. You don't want to fall in the wrong hands or into the wrong hands. of the living creator himself.
Rainfall. Hi, sir.
Yes,
How are you?
Dominica finished.
I thought this was rather interesting. Right, you know, brothers and sisters, we saw this thing circulating as well. And it seems like Norwegian Pearl has decided to do something that has not been done in Dominica before. A cruise company that is promising the ultimate nudist adventure is set to charter its first nude cruise out of Florida, and Dominica is on its itinerary. But don't expect to see naked visitors walking through Roseau when the ship is visiting the island on February 8th, 2025. Oh, that's next year, because nudity is allowed only on the ship. So that's interesting right there. Let me just continue to read the stuff in that regard right there, brothers and sisters. So they say the nudity will be on the ship to protect the little ones out there. Hopefully they can keep the little ones protected. All right, so the nudity is only allowed only on the ship. The Au Naturel cruise, aptly named the Big Nude Boat, leaves Miami on February 25th. I remember there was some anti-man that came down on boat and was doing something on the boat, and people saw it. So just because they say nudity is gonna be on the boat, maybe they're gonna have it in the center of the boat or something. Or, you know, you'll see people walking around the boat naked. But then again, what is nakedness, brothers and sisters? What is nakedness? Hey, look me. In certain cultures, nakedness means different things. In places like Africa, where people live in the forest, you know, you see titties and stuff everywhere, brothers and sisters. It's like, wow, oh, look me, hey. Why are you wearing clothes? It's hot. Take out your clothes. You know, I don't know. But when it comes down to this situation right there, brothers and sisters, the defining point is the culture that you are living in. The defining point right there. If you're accustomed of seeing people with clothes, you know, you don't want to be the odd one out, brothers and sisters. Hey, we have nude boat coming. Let us all just be walking Roseau naked in solidarity. I think that is, you know, very interesting right there. But the Au Natural, they say Au Natural, brothers and sisters, cruise, aptly named the Big Nude Boat, leaves Miami on February 25th, 2025 for a 10-day trip through the Caribbean with stops in the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, St. Martin, Dominica, Martinique, and St. Lucia. The cruise is organized by Bare Necessity Store. They had to put that. Boy, I tell you, traveling association with Norwegian Cruise Lines. We'll be sailing aboard the lovely Norwegian Pearl, a 2,300 passenger ship with loads of entertainment, lots of open deck space, and multiple dining options. The cruise website, okay, a special restaurants. I guess people just be walking like Adam and Eve on a boat. But when it comes down to, you know, some level of respect for yourself, brothers and sisters, I think, you know, we should take that into consideration. Don't think so? Don't get me wrong, you know, if you have your Adam and Eve going, you have your Adam and Eve going. But based on culture, things can vary. Things can change. They'll say, oh, people in Africa are naked, let me come naked too. Well, come naked in the street now. And when people want to do you things now, and you say, what? Why? No. We have to judge ourselves, brothers and sisters. This is why it's important where the great book says, judge yourself lest you be judged. If you don't judge yourself, you will be judged. Or people say, don't judge me. Everybody judges people, brothers and sisters. So think of that. Listen to the great book. It says, judge yourself lest you be judged. Okay, all right. I think that is vital for understanding right there. According to Bare Necessities and Tours, clothes-free experiences are planned throughout the trip, but proper nudist etiquette and other rules will be strictly enforced for guests. So I'm guessing not all the time they'll be naked. They don't want to catch draft. You know, they don't want to be. What is the thing that was falling in night again? But they don't want to catch. They don't want to catch a dew. You know, a dew in their back. You know, in the night time, brothers. I'm guessing proper etiquette will be handled. I don't know what is proper nudist etiquette. I don't know. Maybe they'll wear certain things on them. I don't know if that is it. And other rules will be strictly enforced for guests. There will be a self-serve buffet. I don't know why I'm reading all this. It's like I'm promoting this. I'm not promoting that. It's just interesting. Guests who fail to follow these rules, well, they have rules. When the ship is at sea or anchored in a port, passengers can be nude unless announcements have been made to the contrary. So I'm guessing they can be, you know, naked unless something else. Taking photos of nude guests on the cruise without consent is prohibited, and no photo zones are located throughout the ship. Well, people can take photos from Roseau Bayfront. If people can Yay. Fondling, inappropriate touching and are prohibited, and being naked at point. So what's the point of being naked? Just it's best sunshine now. We tanning. We can do full body tan. Not me, no brothers and sisters. These people are talking about lingerie and fetish wear are also prohibited. So they're not trying to incite anything. Guests who fail to follow these rules will be kicked off the cruise. So if they're in Dominica, they're getting kicked off the cruise. Not Dominica, on the Bayfront, they got me. The travel company said to go on a new cruise, guests will need a valid passport and pricing begins at $2,000. Well, you know, no Dominican's going to reach there. Hey, just saying. This is US dollars, brothers and sisters, not EC dollars. Per person for the more upscale cabins can cost $33,000. It seems like the upscale cabins might have certain things going on inside there. You know, we know what naked people look like. So why would I pay $33,000 for upscale cabins just so I can see other naked people? So obviously there must be some sort of interesting thing going on. But here I do not know. I am not the boat captain for me to know what's going on. It just makes more sense that something else will be happening for $33,000, brothers and sisters, which indicates probably kind of reminds me of Soufriere. What exactly was going on down there, you know? But I do not know. So that is something else. Talking about what I do not know, brothers and sisters, I saw this happening in Roseau. What exactly is going on there, brothers and sisters? People were sending me this video without any information at all. All you guys sending me information? I don't know what's going on. It looks like they're blocking the road or something. They don't want people to pass. What is going on there, brothers and sisters? What exactly is going on there? Can you guys help me out? It looks like there's a popo in the area trying to... Is that a popo? Well, I don't know. But what exactly is going on there, brothers and sisters? What exactly is going on there? I see people with bikes and stuff. Is this a protest? What is going on? I see a police down there. So, are they waiting to see the museum? Talk about museum, brothers and sisters. An individual sent this to me and I figured, hey, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Dominica funeral party. When I think of the things that I spoke about, brothers and sisters, Dominica was one about these things. And when we look at Nudist coming and all these kind of things there, this is a sense of pluralism. Hey, brothers and sisters, this is why it's coming. It's not strange to understand what the government has signed. That took effect, I think is in November or whenever it took effect, and of course Dominica will be locked into that for the next 20 years. Keep in mind, the Prime Minister indicated he's not sure, even though other people were sure for what's going to happen. You know, pretty much knew this kind of situation is going to happen, brothers and sisters. So you might end up, now that the anti-man vibes has been removed, of course the legislation have to go in to see, you know, if they're lessening the punishment because they say it's unconstitutional. Hopefully they can reach some sort of amicable vibes. If it's just private vibes, we don't need to know your business. Hopefully you don't do anything, so we will not know if you do it or not. Okay? Now, on the merit of Dominica, brothers and sisters, we can see that the government of Dominica has definitely destroyed Dominica in that regard. And of course, I think this is AI generated or somebody put heads on something and put something there. But this pretty much signifies what is happening in Dominica right there. It's unfortunate, but this is what Dominica is like right there. They have destroyed Dominica and now about to bury Dominica. And if you're wondering how they destroyed Dominica, well, that's one of the things. Like I indicated yesterday, brothers and sisters, I remember the first black president of the United States. In his first term, indicated marriages between man and woman, and you know, he was a strong stance on this, and everybody was supporting him and what have you. In his second term, brothers and sisters, he ushered in anti-man business. And then when Biden came in, Biden ushered in trans people business to the point where they're literally mutilating little ones to change outside of parental consent. That is something else. I don't want to, let me be a little more politically correct here. My seed, it's not your seed, it's my seed that intertwined with an egg and brought forth our little one right there. It brought forth our little one. You know? You don't care about my seed. You want to tell my seed what it should accept and what it shouldn't accept. Let's not hope that war will break out, brothers and sisters. Let me not never end up in this situation, right? Because war, if I decide I have a little one and I send my little one to school and all you teaching my little one about man and let me not incriminate myself. But no, you're not teaching my little one that at all and think it's okay. You could never. You could never, brothers and sisters. This is why, even with that, I remember my cousin decided he's not going to make his children go to school because of what was happening in the United States, and he pretty much educated, well, with his wife, educated the little ones, and they're very, very smart. It seems like people who do homeschooling, their children turn out to be much more smarter than those who have gone to public school. You know, private schools also indicated they do much better than public schools. I think public schools is an enemy to the little ones because they want to teach little ones things that are totally against what your standard is. You are the one responsible for educating and helping your little one grow. They are supposed to be teaching your little ones about, you know, social studies and maths and, you know, English, you know. Get them prepared to understand the world. No, you want to tell them about man is man, you can be a fox and all kind of foolishness. Brothers and sisters, help humanity. You help humanity doesn't they be kick. Hey, and now, scare them are pretty much ushered in these things. Now I remember there was an individual, I think I'll put that in the next reaction, brothers and sisters. He was talking about societies that have allowed anti-man business to take place. All societies that have allowed anti-man business to take place, they fell. Look at what is happening in the United States, brothers and sisters. United States used to be on the crib of the crop, at the top. Now they have accepted anti-man business and they just falling and they don't know why they falling. Boy, I tell you, boy. What do you think is going to happen to Dominica, guys? You know? Hopefully they put proper legislation like I indicated before. Maybe they say, okay, it's too harsh, you know, for people to do what they want to do in private. In my privacy, and you come in and put me in jail, you know. So maybe they'll say, okay, doing your thing in public is you know. So I would understand that on a political landscape. But when it comes down to people indoctrinating people and those kind of things, they bring the ultimate fire on them, you know. So hopefully the church also has something to say in that regard right there when it comes down to the anti-man business. But it's very much vital, brothers and sisters. And sometimes you just have to do like Lennox Linton, you know. Just have to do like Lennox Linton. Just be at sea and keep your peace, brothers and sisters. Keep your peace. It's interesting that Lennox is keeping his peace while he's on the sea, while Crazy T is hopefully walking in peace. Brothers and sisters, it is an interesting time of life in itself when we see this kind of sentiment right there. Anyways, guys, this is pretty much all your boy has for this year. BrBpTV. Tune in for the next reaction. I'll be doing a bit later on today. In about 30 minutes, brothers and sisters, I'll be doing another one. So tune in for that one. That will be on the Mr. Leaks reaction. Guys, I'll link to be in the first comment in the comment box below, guys. And of course, don't forget to do what, guys? Click the like button, brothers and sisters. I would appreciate that. Click the like button. And of course, subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they tend to come through in that regard right there. It's about Mr. Leaks. Once again, guys, be real. Be positive.